Milk, you fell. It is 40 degrees Celsius outside, and here I am in a sweater again as usual. I'm also trying to rush and film this before work because I have no time management skills. But anyways, hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I decided to make another video, and today I'm going to be showing you what indie books I'm reading this month. Yes, we are back again. For the last couple of months, I have been focusing on reading a lot of independently published books, mostly that have been sent to me by the authors because I want to get through them. I've been sent a lot of books and I was really slacking on actually getting them done. So I made a promise to myself and to you guys that I would get through like 3 to 4 to 5 different indie books each month. And I've got 5 to show you guys today. Also, if you see this little guy on my sweater, I have a mic. Thank you to everyone who told me 9,000 times to get a microphone because my audio is garbage. Thank you specifically to Noah for suggesting this one. I like it so far. We'll find out in the edit if it's actually good. I'm also now physically attached to my camera, which is terrifying because I'm very clumsy. Anywho, let's talk about the books. So I made a list a long time ago of a breakdown of which books I'm gonna be reading which month, and then I ignored that list and I randomly, while camping, decided to read The Fall by Ryan Cahill. Now, I bought this myself and it is the first Ryan Cahill I read. And after I read it, I was like, oh my gosh, I can include this in my indie video. And then I looked at my list and realized I actually scheduled this for this month. So good job, me. I'm not gonna dwell on The Fall because the point of these videos is to bring your attention to indie books you've never heard of and to like spread awareness of new authors, and Ryan Cahill is doing fine without me. So yeah, it is indie, so I'm including it, and I read it, so I'm including it, but like, you know who he is. You've probably read his books. I gave this overall 3 stars. I know some people are gonna be mad about that, but yeah, I don't know. I think the fact that this was my first dive into this series, The Bound and the Broken, this is not the one to start with. I've seen a lot of people say you can kind of start with either this or Of Fire and nope, Of Blood and Fire, the other one. I disagree. The Fall is a prequel novella that gives you some lore of a specific battle, I guess the fall of a specific city that maybe is important in the series. I don't know because I haven't read the series. This book is set in 4 different perspectives. It is all surrounding like a couple hours of a battle. I think the setup is great. I love that it's just one battle in this whole book. And my favorite perspective was Corin, who is a dragon rider, a dragon bound. Yeah, she was my favorite perspective, but overall I did find the writing kind of lacking. I found it very repetitive. A lot of repeated phrases and words that I'm like, use a thesaurus, buddy. Feeling things in the back of your mind and letting go of breaths you didn't know you were holding, that sort of thing. I think that I would probably rate this higher if I had read any of the rest of the series, but as I mentioned, I have not. So that's The Fall. I've heard very good things about the rest of the series. I've met Ryan and he's a great guy, so buy the books, but also I'm not here to promote him. I'm here to promote other people that sent me their books. Speaking of dragons, I was sent another dragon-related book. I was sent this a couple of months ago, so I'm sorry it's taken me so long to get to it, but it's City in the Dragon's Eye by Jordan Loyle Short. This book is set in a world where dragon magic exists. Our main character, Victor, has saved his friends from a deadly ambush, but to do that, he delved too deep to get magic from the dragon well. And because of this, he's developed a magical tumor that is turning him into a dragon. He doesn't want to turn into a dragon, so he sets off on a quest to find a potential cure. There is puzzle solving, sanatoriums, crazy doctors, magic, dwarfs, deadly traps. And as far as I know, this book doesn't take itself too seriously. I believe I was told that when being sent it. And then also the dedication and the like content warning list at the front definitely indicate that as well. The content warnings are smoking, naughty language, recreational potion use, bigotry, dick jokes, and violence. And the dedication is to my parents for having sex when it mattered most. Thank you, Jordan, for sending me this. I'm excited to get into it. It's not very long, so I don't think it's gonna take me too much time to read. I've already actually read the first chapter and I am enjoying it so far. It's fun, it's kind of silly, but it's also well written and I'm excited. By the way, I will be putting purchase links to every book I'm talking about in the description below. I was also sent a physical copy of Knights of the White Company by J.A. Faber. Thank you so much for sending me this. I'm very excited about this one, and I think this is actually going to be my next read. This is historical fiction. I actually don't think there's any fantasy in it outside of the sort of medieval England and France witchcraft wizardry stuff that like is in most period accurate historical fictions. Catholicism, for example. I've recently been reading Bernard Cornwell's Warlord Chronicles, and I am discovering a love for historical fiction set in that same sort of time period. So I'm really excited for this one. So this is based around the real world events of 1360 when King Edward of England signed a peace treaty to end a decades-long war with France, which kind of caused all of the knights, the soldiers, to just have nothing to do and be stranded where they were fighting at the time. And that is true, that really did happen. So a lot of these English knights were stranded in France and ended up pillaging and doing some very, very bad things to the French countryside, and because of that, the Pope sent crusaders against them. And this book is about a band of mercenary knights who get together to defy and rebel. And I don't really know much more than that. I know that that is the history. There's not much more in the blurb about what the story is actually about, but those are the characters, and that's definitely a backdrop that I'm really excited to read about, and it's a time period that I am really interested in. So I'm gonna knock over my camera. Thank you so much, J.A. Faber, for sending me this. I'm going to get to this soon. Again, nice and short. I love these short indie books that I've been receiving lately. If you're a fan of Bernard Cornwell, purchase link in the description. Book number 4. I've already talked about 3 books. There's someone at my front door. I hope it's book mail. What is it? Sorry to interrupt this video, but Kim has sent me a package. I didn't get an Illumicrate package. This is from Kim, and I'm gonna unbox it before work, but not in this video. Thank you, Novel House, for this package. I'm just gonna hold it because I'm so excited. Anyways, back to the video. Now we travel from medieval England to a fictional world of Vikings. S.K. Putt is releasing a novella that is set in the Bloodlands. If you remember, I read his debut, The Kinslayer, earlier this year. Loved it. Viking, Norse-inspired, epic, bloody fantasy. Now there's a novella. The novella is called A Reckless Courage. I helped out with the cover reveal. This novella focuses on Aslag. I don't have the pronunciation guide, who is a former priestess, and Orvar, who is a former Drengar, who are living lives peacefully up until the gods decide to test them. This is another brutal, devastating installment in this series, and I'm excited to get to it. I've heard very good things about it so far, and I'm really excited to be part of like bringing attention to this series. S.K. Putt is an excellent writer, and if you're a fan of John Gwynne or Tilda Cold Holt, I definitely recommend this series. I will put the links to both The Kinslayer and A Reckless Courage in the description. And last but not least, I was actually just sent this book yesterday, but I've wanted it for a while. I just haven't had the time, I don't know, the willpower to purchase it because I'm a bad person. But I was sent Bloodlands by Eamon Bateman. Thank you so much for sending me this. This is a Western horror, which sounds so cool. And he is working on the sequel right now, and he wants to get a little bit more attention on the first book before the sequel is released, because the first one was a debut. And so he did send me a copy in exchange for an honest review. I haven't read it yet. As I said, I was sent it yesterday. This is a novella about a bounty hunter pursuing an outlaw, classically Western. But during this pursuit, they discover the outlaw is not the only evil lurking in the shadows. This reminds me a lot of Red Rabbit by Alex Grecian, which is another Western-themed horror, or horror-themed Western. I don't know. So I imagine that if you've read Red Rabbit or similar books in the genre, I think this sounds really good, and I'm really grateful to Eamon for sending it to me, and I'm very much looking forward to the sequel. And those are the 5 indie books I'm reading in June. I've read one of them, The Fall, and I'm gonna dive straight into, I'm gonna read A Reckless Courage next because it's short and I want to, and then I'm gonna get into Nights. But I might also change my mind about the order completely because I'm a mood reader. Oh, and I'm kind of feeling like horror right now, but I'm kind of feeling like more dragons after The Fall. Oh no! Anyways, you can look out for reviews of all of these on SFF Insiders. Those are gonna be coming in the next couple of weeks. And once again, I know I've said this like 4 times already, but once again, purchase links to all of these are in the description below. I'm gonna stop falling. I'm gonna go ahead and open up this package from Kim, not in this video. I'll do a reel or something. So much mail today. Anyways, I need to open this and then go to work. Before I go, don't forget to like and subscribe and ring the bell icon so you know when I upload new videos. I upload 2 days a week. I love you guys. Goodbye.